fun because I feel like I have a cheat sheet since I am an actor. I get to be on set. And I remember when I was getting my first scripts for Sheila, I just sat down with Kimberlyn and was like, I went to a dressing room and said, let's just talk. Like, tell me about Sheila. And just to hear her thoughts and her feelings and her passion and what she's created for herself for all these years, it's like I get to be influenced by that. And then I'm in my dressing room watching the feed of watching the actors work while I'm in my room, and I get to hear like how they interpret the material. So all that is playing into like writing it for them and hearing their voice. I get to not just watch the show as it airs, but watch them work the material. Crazy, dude. It's like a dream. It's surreal. It's really weird. It's weird to write a scene with John McCook and Catherine Kelly Lang. It's like, and it's not fan fiction. It's like they're actually gonna go and do this. Yeah, yeah. And suddenly for us too, I don't know the details around Rena and whatever happened. I don't know the details. I just know that like we knew we were filming her last episode, which was, when Carter and Quinn had the little dinner in the office, but we knew that was her last day. And like if you look at those scenes again and look in our eyes and when they're telling each other they love each other and just the amount of love and appreciation those characters had, there was no acting that day. Like I think we both said to each other after we were done, we had to stop ourselves from crying because we felt like it was such a beautiful, wonderful goodbye. It's not a goodbye for Quinn and Carter, so why would they be
Yeah,
crying?
yeah.
For us, it was. So yeah, yeah. But I'm very fortunate to have gotten the chance to work with her. I mean, I think that because before then, I had some stuff with Maya or would have like really great moments or be a part of really great storylines. But this was the first time that Brad just said, "We're gonna put this leading man ball in your court and see how you dribble it. You are going to be the guy." And it was daunting. It was wonderful. I felt the responsibility. So this storyline created the leading man version of Carter, not just the best friend, not just the supporter, not just the marriage officiant, but like this guy can be a romantic lead. And he is flawed. He has issues. He's not just this good guy to be a sounding board. Like he also has a lot of issues in romance, which is the point of soaps. All these characters are flawed. They hope for the best, but they're flawed. Yes, yes. And I remember doing that moment, and we were really trying to figure out how far we go in that story because we didn't want to offend anyone. We didn't want to, this was still like Caitlyn Jenner. This was all fairly new in the media, and we didn't want to offend anyone at all. But we also wanted to be true. And I remember kind of fighting for Carter to have that reaction. I'm like, so far, Carter's been a wonderful person. If he gets angry right now, I don't think the audience is going to be like, he's evil. It's like, no, and with a woman that he believed was completely honest with him. So it turned out really well. I wish we could have, yeah, it could have more, but I feel like to even have that, we almost didn't even have that. I really fought for Carter to have that reaction because everyone would have assumed he would have been okay with it and Rick would have blew up. But it's like it'd be interesting if it is flipped. Um, yeah, that was a wonderful storyline to be a part of, and it was wonderful to watch Carla and Jacob work it, man, and our wonderful directors just work that story and take out all the love and the nuance that these characters had before this storyline. Like Rick and Maya, if they didn't work before, we couldn't tell this story. You got to watch them. You got to watch them because we use the term soap opera and daytime loosely, but Bold and the Beautiful could not be any more different than Days of Our Lives, which could not be any more different than General Hospital. They're not the same show. They don't do the same thing. A similar structure and story, but in Days of Our Lives, a woman could be possessed by a demon. Like, and it works in their world and it's wonderful. And General Hospital can have a whole mob storyline that works. And for our show, it's a fairy tale. You do fall in love at first sight. You do fall in and out of love like that. That's the rules of our world. We're romance in the afternoon. So I would say watch and understand the shows you watch and even pull out their differences. And then, write kind of like fan fiction and not just the story, but think about how do you have this story go on for 300 days, every day, 5 days a week. There's no off season. And then how do you get in? I don't know. I don't even know. And I would say the strides that I think they're taking strides. The fact that as a Black man, I'm an actor and writer on this show, they're kind of doing it. I can't speak for the other shows, but our show, we are taking strides. We have a Black woman writer, Michelle Valjean, who's come from General Hospital years ago. She's with us now, and just different perspective and another different idea. So I think it's happening. Carter, he has a Superman complex. I mean, he is the guy who will always fall on the sword, even with Quinn. He was like, I'm prepared to marry Paris and be long suffering, so your marriage isn't like, dude will just take unnecessary blows. If there's someone he loves, he will protect him to his own detriment. So I think in this case, absolutely with Katie, he cares deeply about her. Even if they weren't together, he would. She's just a good person. I mean, she might be one of the better people in this town. And Carter recognized that. And as far as where they're going, that's a good question, man. It's like they don't have drama, but the world around them has a lot of chaos. And her ex-husband, father of her child, is literally sleeping with the devil. So that will have to have some residual effect. But we'll see. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see together.